But let me ask you this, Mr. Murthy. You talked about your friend, the late Mr. Ratan Tata, and we spoke about the kind of leadership attributes that he held very close to his heart.
Yeah.
You believe in many leadership attributes that you hold very dear to you. I know you famously told me once that, in times of a disagreement, let everybody bring data to the table and let data decide and not egos. So, leadership attributes that you believe, Mr. Murthy, that you would like Indian entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs to focus on as we move forward.
Well, first of all, let me say that the entrepreneurs of today are so much smarter than I ever was. I mean, look, the gentleman, Harsha from Swiggy, he says he will deliver food in 10 minutes in this environment where I took an hour and 25 minutes to come from Santa Cruz West to this place. He is a magician. He is a magician. He is a remarkable guy. Therefore, we must all salute him. We must salute him not because he may be able to do or he may not be. That's not the issue. Even to have such an audacious vision, even to have such an audacious aspiration, target, that itself is fantastic. So anyway, having said that, the attributes that I have found have been rather useful at Infosys have been first, courage. As I often say, without courage, no other attribute of a leader will ever find utterance. Courage of conviction, courage to do the right thing, courage to walk the untrodden path, courage to go against the most majority of naysayers. I think these are absolutely necessary for a leader. So therefore, I would say first is courage. The second thing is what I learned from Mahatma Gandhi, that is leadership by example. If you want austerity in your company, you, the leader, show austerity. If you want punctuality in your company by every employee, you come to the office first. Then you don't have to give big speeches. So I think I can go on and on the issue of leadership by example, but I think we in the corporate world must embrace leadership by example. The third thing that I would talk is, this is something that not just the corporate leaders, but leaders in every area in India, in corporate world, in politics, in NGOs, in bureaucracy, everywhere. And that is putting the interest of the community ahead of my personal interest. If I did that, my personal interest will be much larger in the years to come. That's exactly what we at Infosys followed. In the beginning, none of us had any cars. We all traveled by economy until we were $1 billion in revenue, and that was the time that I was there, and we were $288 million of after tax. Until such time, we all traveled economy, even on international flights. So the point I'm saying is, let everybody lead by example. The third thing I would say is, if we seek respect from our stakeholders, then everything will come. Revenues will come, good employees will join you, good investors, long-term investors will be there for you, your profits will improve, and your market capitalization will improve. Therefore, don't take the objective as having much bigger market capitalization. Just say, I will earn respect from every stakeholder. And the day you take the decision, everything else will fall in line. And then, you talked about, being fair and using data and facts. A leader has to be fair. Fairness, as you know better than I do, is doing unto others what you want them to do unto you. And that happens if you try and use data and facts to decide every transaction. And you have to start every transaction on a zero base, because then your employees will have full confidence in you. Even if they lose a transaction, they will say, this gentleman or this lady tried their best, and this time I didn't have proper data, therefore I lost. So that's very important. And then, of course, I already spoke about it. This is what I learned from my extraordinary friend, late Rahul Bajaj. And then once in 1993, I was a nobody. Even today I'm a nobody, but at that time I was even a smaller nobody. And I asked Rahul Bajaj, I had probably 30 seconds with him, which management book should I read? Rahul was Rahul, the way he would talk. He said, why are you trying to waste money on managed books and all? Realize that competition is your best management guru. I tell you, from 1993, I wrote it down on a page, and I pasted it in my office. Until I retired in 2014, I practiced. Competition is your best management guru. The last thing, I can give an 8-hour lecture on all the whatever I learned, but the last thing that I will say is, when in doubt, disclose. That is the finest corporate governance principle that you people can follow. I will stop here because otherwise I can go on and on and on.
That will be an 8-hour masterclass, and I know that there are many people in this room who would sign up to listen to you, Mr. Murthy, but those are gems. When in doubt, disclose. I have a personal library, a collection of Mr. Murthy's gems. He always also, I remember saying, telling me that let the good news take the stairs and let the bad news take the elevator. And that's another very important lesson that he has taught me over the years. But Mr. Murthy, let's talk a little bit about work-life balance. Your 70-hour comment has gone viral, and you're not going to be able to live it down anytime soon. Any change in thinking on that one, or do you believe that you were just grossly misunderstood?
No. First of all, I don't believe in work-life balance. I don't know if KV is here. KV Kamath, about 25 years ago, he was on a platform at a function like this. And he was asked, KV, what do you think of work-life balance? He said, look, we in India, we're a poor country. We have a lot of challenges. We first have to get a life, then we can worry about work-life balance. So therefore, my view is, at this point of time, when Prime Minister Modi is working so hard, probably he works 100 hours a week, when his cabinet ministers are working very hard, when his bureaucrats are all working very hard, the only way we can show our appreciation for all these wonderful things that are happening is by our working out. Frankly, I was a little bit disappointed in 1986 or something when we moved from 6-day week to 5-day week. I was not very happy with that. I think in this country, we have to work very hard, because there is no substitute for hard work. Even if you're the most intelligent guy, you need to work hard. So therefore, I am sorry, I have not changed my view. I will take this with me to my grave. I'm very proud of having worked very hard. I used to go to the office at 6:20 in the morning and return at 8:30 in the evening. That was 14 hours and 10 minutes. And I worked 6.5 days till I retired. And I'm very proud of it. Therefore, I am not going to take it back.
Yes, I know you believe very firmly in that. I know Mrs. Murthy doesn't necessarily agree with you. I know that there has been a lot of conversation around that, but I don't know how many of you know this. He's quite the romantic. He courted Mrs. Murthy when they were both in Pune while she was an engineer at what was then Telco. And Mr. Murthy, I know that you would sing to her as well. I'm going to put you in a little bit of a corner. Do you remember the Elvis Presley song that you sang to Mrs. Murthy?
Well, you know, I have sung a lot of Kannada songs, but very few people here understand Kannada. I used to sing Hindi songs, but my Hindi is so bad, I just would not dare sing it in public. However, I used to sing to her several English songs. You know, I'm a great fan of Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and later on Perry Como, Cliff Richard. I mean, you name them. So maybe since you are like my daughter, you have that freedom and you have asked me.
I'm going to exercise it today.
And I will try, but I'm a goof up, so I hope you people will put up with me. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it seems some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't sing. For I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you. Thank you.
Woo! Mr. Murthy, alternate career, sir, at 80. Alternate career at 80.
You know, I am 79. Nowadays, obviously, I can't sing well. But when I was young, even my wife was impressed.
Impressed enough to marry you?
At that time, she was not my wife. She was impressed. I sang this song in a rickshaw. And then I proposed to her. And probably she had to accept because that rickshaw driver thought I was crazy or something. So she said, okay.